Hi, I'm Tara from Fitness by Fitness, and today I'm here to teach you how to beat the beep test. Now, when I run the beep test, I actually head down to my local cricket pitch because it's basically a flat 20-metre surface that's perfect, ready to go for you to run your test. So just remember, if you're going to go to your cricket pitch though, you need to make sure that you run from stump to stump, not from crease to crease. So make sure you go to the hole in the ground, or the point where you'll find that someone has been sticking the stumps, because otherwise you'll be selling yourself a little bit short and you'll find you're only running at about 18.5 metres. So definitely make sure you're running the full 20 metres. Okay, now let's head into my top 3 tips for how to beat the beep test. So my first tip for how to beat the beep test focuses on turning. Now, when a lot of people are running the beep test, all they focus on is getting to the end of the shuttle that they're running at the time. What I need you to do though is think about how you're going to start your next shuttle while you're still finishing the previous one. So for me, when I'm coming into the end of my shuttle, I'm looking at my last 3 to 4 steps and thinking, how can I get my foot onto that line and turn around, get ready to go, and basically be in a position where I'm waiting for that beep and I'm ready to push off and get running again. So a lot of people will actually either miss the line, so they'll go a little bit over it, or they'll actually do a little bit of a loop. And I'm going to show you a couple of videos in a minute, and we'll have a look at the ways that you probably shouldn't do it and the ways that you should. Now, the main reason that I say come into the line and put your foot on it and get ready to turn is because you're basically saving yourself 2 to 3 steps on every shuttle. Now, that doesn't seem like a lot with just 1 or 2 shuttles, but when you're looking at trying to get to level 6.5 or 7.5, you're running a lot of shuttles. You're running anywhere from, say, 55 to 70 shuttles, and that works out to be a lot more distance that you're covering, and you're just going to make the test harder for yourself. So I'll show you a couple of videos now. Make sure you keep an eye on the last one, because that's going to show you exactly how to do it. Coming into the line, get your foot on it, turn around and get ready to start. Here I'm running past the line and looping around to start the next shuttle. Here I'm running past the line, whereas here I'm putting my foot on the line, stopping, waiting for the beat, and off I go. My second tip for how to beat the beep test focuses on timing. Now, the beep test is something that everyone always stresses about. So many times I get asked, how can I beat the beep test? I'm really worried, I'm really stressed that I'm not going to make it through. I'm really concerned I'm not fit enough. How can I get there? Well, the first thing I want to tell you is that the beep test, to get to level 7.5, it's literally going to take you 7 minutes of your life. No more than that. So in the grand scheme of things, 7 minutes of your life is pretty small, right? So when it comes to actually running the beep test, what I want you to do is go and grab yourself a digital watch. Now, I don't care if it's a $10 watch from Big W or Kmart, just make sure that you've got one that you can hit a button at the start of that test and just check it as you're running along. Don't want to go with analog though, because it's far too hard to keep up. Make sure you've got a digital watch. And what you can do is, as you're running along, every level of the test takes you round about 1 minute. So one of the things that I find hardest when I'm running the test is that you never quite know how many levels you're going to have. When you start off, there's 7 in level 1 and you're thinking, yeah, I'm cruising. When you get to about level 4 and 5, you're thinking, oh my God, it's level 8, it's level 9. How many levels am I going to have in this? If you got a watch on and you've hit the button at the start to start your stopwatch, you've got a pretty good idea of where you're at, which means you've then got a pretty good idea of when the next level's coming up. And it also gives you a really good idea of how long you've been running for, because you know that all you've got is 7 minutes and that's it. 7 minutes and you're done, you've passed your test, you're in. My third and final tip for how to beat the beep test focuses on breathing. Now, we all know that the beep test is really hard, and one of the reasons why it's so hard is because it actually gets faster the further into the test you go. It's actually designed to make you work harder and harder the longer you run the test. As a result, it really, really fatigues your respiratory system, and that's where you start to breathe really, really heavily. Now, what a lot of people will do when they start to get really tired is they'll actually start to breathe in and out through their mouth. The problem with this is that your body actually has to work a lot harder in order to make sure that you're getting the oxygen in that you need. And what you actually do is bring in far too much oxygen, and then your body has to deal with it. So the best way that you can actually deal with this is to really focus on breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. Now I know this seems kind of difficult, because I know when we were all kids and we were at school, we were always told to do that, and sometimes when you're getting really fatigued, that's really, really hard to keep doing. But when it comes to the beep test, what I want you to do is actually use the previous tip. So the one where I said to bring your watch with you, and I want you to make sure you continue to have an idea of where you're at, so you have a pretty good idea of when you're going to get to the end of each level. And what I'd like you to do is spend the whole level focusing on breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. And when you get to the end of that level and you hear the special beeps that kick up to the next one, then I want you to take one really deep breath in through your mouth. So what that will do is focus on getting a bunch more oxygen in. It'll give you a lot of an extra energy kick to get through that next level, but then you'll also go straight back into that focusing on breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. So this will focus on keeping you nice and calm. It'll make sure you have enough oxygen to get through, and it'll also make sure you get that second wind. So just to recap, my 3 tips for how to beat the beep test are turning, timing, and breathing. Now, I can't guarantee that these are going to make you beat the beep test if you haven't trained at all. What these will do is probably get you an extra level, maybe a level and a half, if you really focus on hitting the 3 things that we talked about. However, I need you to remember that there is absolutely no substitute for training. And the best way to train for the beep test is actually to go and run the beep test. So head down to your local cricket pitch, download the beep test, take it with you, put it on your phone, go for a run and see how you go. Good luck with it, and thanks for watching How to Beat the Beep Test.